Hi everybody, before we get into the video, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who liked, commented, subscribed after my last video. After a year of putting in some actual effort here on YouTube, I finally broke 100 subscribers and I'm just in awe. Thank you guys for tuning in, for believing in me, and for supporting this channel. I hope that I can continue to make content that you enjoy because I enjoy making it and this is something I have always wanted to do, so I finally decided to just do it. So seeing that people like you are watching, reacting, and enjoying it, I can't thank you guys enough. And now, with that out of the way, let's get to the video. Another year is coming to an end, and with it comes another year for our beloved Blue Blur. Last year was the year of Shadow to commemorate his debut on the silver screen, as well as his return to playable character status in Sonic X Shadow Generations, a game I reviewed last year if you want to check it out in the card above. This year, Sega has campaigned 2025 as the year Sonic and Friends would be racing around the world, in a video where they teamed up with Red Bull where a rally car races against the Hedgehog, only to then turn around and team up with McLaren F1, Red Bull's biggest rival this season. A bold move considering how McLaren nearly shat the bed the second half of the season, only beating Max Verstappen by 2 points from a 104-point lead. And I'm saying this as someone who is completely non-biased. Oh shit. They came up with exclusive merch, including some pop-up shops like at the Vegas Grand Prix, promotional videos with the drivers, and even recreating Senna's 1993 trophy. They partnered with K1 Speed in San Diego, pushed a Spotify mixtape, and collaborated with a bunch of other brands. But the main focus for us gamers was the two games we're looking at today. Those being Sonic Racing Crossworlds and Sonic Rumble. So, was the Racing Around the World campaign a success? Let's start by hopping into a cart to find out. The latest Sonic racing game after the disappointment of Team Sonic Racing is here, and this time developed by Sonic Team rather than Sumo Digital, who developed the last three titles. And despite how that game turned out, I was excited for Crossworlds. That was partly due to Sega seeming super confident about this game, even recreating their old 90s Genesis commercial where they took some shots at Nintendo and the original Mario Kart. My excitement only grew when I was able to get my hands on the closed beta for this game a few months before release. And when the game finally came out, I was shocked by how high the critical reception was to this game. Outlets like IGN giving it a 9 out of 10 when they gave Mario Kart World an 8. Was Sonic really better than Mario Kart? Well, I played and reviewed Mario Kart. I thought it was a lot of fun, but was very disappointed in the open world. I still boot it up and play a few rounds with my friends from time to time. But with Sonic being multi-platform and crossplay, maybe this could be the new kart racer we could all play together without investing in new hardware. And when the game released, I sunk hours upon hours into this game, only stopping because I had to get to work on my Countdown to Halloween series. But now I'm back, and I'm finally ready to give this game the review I wanted to give it back then. To start things off, this game is extremely easy to pick up and play. If you have ever played a kart racer before, these controls will feel instantly recognizable and intuitive. The only thing about the controls that took me a bit of time to getting used to was the drifting, as the vehicles seem to drift a lot sharper than I'm used to in other racing games. A small thing, but I eventually got used to it after a few races. And once you get the hang of it, this game is still no walk in the park. This game will put your skills to the test and keep pushing you to master its courses and controls. There are ways to tweak things to match your preferred control style with a variety of vehicles, characters, and gadgets.
23 Sonic characters, 24 courses, 15 crossworlds, 45 customizable vehicles.
Thanks, Donpa. The game has 5 different classes of vehicles to choose from. We have the basics like speed, acceleration, and handling, but we also have power, which can knock other racers out of the way and won't lose rings upon contact with the walls, and boost, the returning extreme gears from the Rider series, which can charge up their drift boost faster than other vehicles. Each of the vehicle types also have a different set of stats. Vehicles can also be customized with different front bumpers, rear wings, and wheels, all of which affect the vehicle's stats. Regardless of your choice, you always have at least some sort of advantage around the various tracks as well as disadvantages so that no vehicle type seems to be dominant over the others. Stats don't just stop at the vehicles though, as your selected characters have their own stats as well. Characters like Sonic, Shadow, and Jet will have higher speed stats, while someone like Knuckles, Omega, and Storm will have higher power. While these stats do make a difference, they don't seem to be the major changes that the graphs show on screen. Rather, the majority of differences comes from the gadgets that you can equip from race to race. As you race, you can unlock up to 6 gadget slots and fill them up with various gadgets which can give you different advantages. Advantages such as being able to hold extra rings, boost extra fast, a boost at the start of the race, etc. Depending on how powerful the gadget is, it could take up anywhere from 1 to 3 slots on your gadget card. You can have up to 5 different gadget cards at a time, and you can switch between them between races. These gadgets are where the game's main customization comes in, as some of these tools can be extremely powerful if you learn how to use them correctly. My favorite is the mini boost you get upon colliding with other racers, something you will be doing constantly. Speaking of other racers, you know how in games like Mario Kart, the game will pick random NPCs to be your biggest competition? So Crossworlds takes that ghost mechanic and brings it to the forefront with the rival system. Each Grand Prix you do, the game will randomly assign you a rival that you have to beat. Or you can go into the menu on the top right and pick the next rival character and their difficulty level. The higher the character difficulty, the more Donpot tickets you will receive upon beating them. More on that in a minute. The rival will also be your biggest competition, and typically by defeating them, you will also be winning the race. This rival mechanic leads to some amusing dialogue and shit talk between the characters.
Don't get distracted, handsome. We're here to race, so keep your eyes on the road.
Come on, you're talking to a pro here. I know how to handle the curves like an expert.
That is, unless you're playing as one of the DLC characters, in which they aren't voiced, so the beef just seems one-sided.
I'm a pro! You aren't even in my league!
She's just happy to be here. Your rival will always start at the front of the grid, while you, no matter where you stand in terms of points, must always start in the back and fight your way up. Going through and defeating all the rivals will allow you to play as Supersonic in Grand Prix mode. Supersonic is fast, corners on a dime, and is immune to most items, and boosts like a bullet out of a gun. So, remember the Donpot tickets? They're the main currency you earn in the game. The better you finish a race, beating your rivals, completing challenges, and even competing in special races all earn you tickets. Those tickets can then be used to purchase more vehicle parts, cosmetic customization options. You can even spend tickets to instantly retry a race if you didn't like the result. However, what you are going to spend most of your tickets on are the character friendships. By throwing tickets at a character, you can increase your friendship level, unlocking you extra skins, player titles, and decals. You need thousands of tickets for each of the characters, and it would be fine if the game gave you more tickets for each race or Grand Prix, but at the drop rate of these tickets right now, I don't see any reason to be pouring thousands to hundreds of thousands of tickets to even bother unlocking everything. I'm sure someone has done it, but I couldn't be bothered. But like in any good kart racer, the deciding factor for who wins comes down to who races the best and item usage. Learning how to manipulate your car and drift around the corners is one of the key elements that you want to learn to master. Your drift has 4 levels, each of which give you a bigger boost. You are even able to juggle your boost from left to right if need be in order to keep your drift going. Combining your drifting skills with items is not only key to getting ahead of the competition, but holding yourself there as well. Items such as the boost, homing shot, and item thief should all be familiar to anyone who has played a kart racer before, but Crossworlds introduces some new functions like the monster truck that allows you to crush the competition, or the laser wisp who will almost immediately teleport you ahead. All this on courses that are loud, intense, in your face, everything a Sonic racing game should be. A lot of that intensity comes from Crossworlds' main gimmick of the Crossworlds that you can travel to via the warp rings from the Sonic movies. Each Grand Prix consists of 3 tracks, 3 laps each. On the first lap, you will race on the selected track like normal. Upon completion of the first lap, 2 warp rings appear and the racer in front must select one of the 2. The second lap of the race is transported to a new track before returning to the original track for the final lap. typically with some changes like different pathways. And you're going to want to explore those different pathways to collect the 5 red star rings hidden in each stage that will reward you with extra Dawn Pot tickets. Despite only 3 tracks per Grand Prix, there are 4 races, with the final race utilizing the 3 tracks in order 1 lap each. These Crossworld transitions are seamless and are always a spectacle, and a big returning element is the transformations from land vehicles to boats and aircraft a la Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed. These transformations can lead to different pathways and shortcuts if you're quick enough, and design like this is found throughout the game. The transformations are smooth and exciting, except for the god-awful controls when you transform into a boat. The issue with the boats comes from the drifting, or lack thereof, as the drift is suddenly replaced with a charged jump. And it doesn't feel good to control, but it is learnable. All the tracks here are well designed, and that even includes the Crossworlds tracks, which start off by offering you these out-of-the-world sets like a dinosaur island or a kraken battle. Later on can include the other base tracks from the other cups. Once you finish with all the Grand Prix, you could put your skills to the test against others regardless of their platform online. In online multiplayer, you are put into a lobby with 11 other players where you will be given a choice of 3 levels. Everyone votes, and the game will shuffle the votes to pick the track. It's just a shame you can only do a single race at a time, as it would be nice to compete in a Grand Prix, play custom games, or at least stay in the lobby with the same players rather than queuing up again. But if you want custom games, that's where Race Park comes in, and also where the team aspect from Team Sonic Racing lives on. Here you could play in alternative game modes. There are 2 4v4v4 modes, 2 6v6 modes, and 2 free-for-all game modes that all offer different objectives like collecting rings or who can hit the other enemy team more. These are unfortunately limited to single player and offline split screen, which I couldn't really test because I don't really have many friends. Offering these modes in online play might help me convince the few friends that I do have to pick up this game. But another big hurdle is this game's price tag, $70. $90 for the deluxe edition, a full price game for a kart racing spin-off, a rare sight for any kart racer outside of Mario Kart, which has its own ridiculous price tag, console exclusivity notwithstanding. It's a bit steep considering how most other kart racers are budget titles. But it's all wrapped in a game that's so beautiful, so polished, and has been nothing but a breeze to run on my PC since day one. The game is beautifully stylized, runs smooth as butter, and the soundtrack, okay, for the soundtrack the game has the jukebox where you can select between different tracks for either your entire race or mix and match songs for different laps, and it's an amazing feature. The soundtrack features tons of remixes, great past songs, and some new original tracks. It's easy on the ears, energetic, but nothing I would really listen to outside of the game. Sonic Racing Crossworlds took all the best elements from all the past Sonic racing games, crammed them all together into one title to make one of the best kart racing experiences I have ever played. And while I can't say that it's better than Mario Kart like IGN claims, I can say that it's on par. But with just a few tweaks and some updates to allow more robust custom game options for online, I think this could easily take it above and beyond Sonic's red hat wearing rival. Yes, the price is high, but since release, Sonic seems to have gotten more substantial updates and support than its competition, adding new characters, new tracks, hosting a number of limited online events. The game is clearly getting the support to keep fans around, and if their roadmap is accurate, they're looking to support it for at least the next year. So I think that this game, while very expensive for its genre, is worth it for any Sonic fan, and is definitely worth picking up on sale for any fan of fun arcade kart racers. With one game all about going quickly being a success, what about the other game that you can quickly play on the go? Because it's a mobile game, you could play it on, never mind. I'm of course talking about Sonic Rumble, a game I was actually pleasantly surprised by. Sonic's take on Fall Guys, a party royale platformer but built for mobile devices, but it's also available on PC, which is where I played it. This game has been weird to follow to say the least. Developed by Rovio, best known for Angry Birds, it got delayed twice from winter 2024 to finally releasing on November 5th, 2025. But the game is out, and now we can all experience it. So let's boot it up to see how we are finally introduced to this game. Fuck. Holy shit. Who thought this was a good idea? This game is chock full of these. Season passes, events, skins for different characters, cosmetics, chow. Everything has a price tag in this game. There is so much here that's just a click away from swiping your digital credit card. And the prices here are absolutely ridiculous. $50 skins?
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
You can pick up Sonic X Shadow Generations, a whole ass video game for the price of a single premium skin in this game. This is either blatant greed or stupidity on Sega's part to think that anyone would pay this much for skins.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
You get a basic avatar at the start, looking like the avatar straight out of Sonic Forces, but that doesn't matter because you will quickly unlock a ton of characters like Tails or Sonic. Characters have different skins that you can unlock in the daily claw machine, which, depending on the rarity of the skin, will take anywhere from 300 to 600 fragments, which you only get one fragment at a time, meaning in order to get one legendary skin without spending a dime, you have to spin the wheel once a day for almost 2 years and get the same fragment for the same character skin every day. Now, there are options and ways to unlock cosmetics and other things for free, so it's not like progression is completely locked behind a paywall. By simply playing, you will unlock stuff constantly. I was actually getting pretty annoyed because of how many things I was unlocking or could claim for free, including the game's multiple currencies. Yes, multiple currencies, because you can't have a free-to-play game without them. First and most prevalent are rings, which are used to purchase cosmetics, stickers, emotes, etc. Star stickers, which can be used to purchase skills that can be used on either all characters or character-specific skills. Tune-up wrenches, which can be used to level up your character to give you more score bonuses. Then there are the score bonuses themselves, which can get you a higher score at the end of each match. These help to increase your rank and can speed up seasonal rewards. Omni fragments, which can be transformed into specific skin fragments. And then finally there are the red star rings, which are the game's primary way of purchasing packs, premium season passes, and other currencies. Even with all these currencies and systems, the game offers enough free cosmetics and upgrades that I'm confused as to why the items in the store are priced this absurdly. They even have this thing called a skin blitz, where the game will pit you up against 2 other random players to see who can get a certain amount of thumbs up bonuses first to unlock a free skin. This actually incentivized me to stay on and play a few more rounds to try and get a free Eggman skin. And I like this. Despite the predatory pricing and the pseudo gambling of the game's market, it rewards you enough to just play. That doesn't excuse these horrible monetization practices, but it can at least soften the blow until a pop-up asking you to spend a few bucks comes on screen. But that's the nature of freemium games, I guess. Now, this game may have the cancerous tumor of over-monetized slop, but there is actually a game here, and not a bad one either. So, remember how I said that this was Sonic's take on Fall Guys? Yeah, that's it. It's just a ripoff with some good and some bad. First off, the game does not control like a Sonic game, but rather it controls like Fall Guys. Sonic games are all about high-speed platforming, which this game is not. Instead, the only speed you get is by going through predetermined dash panels and springs. In place of the fast and tight controls that are typically seen in the series, we get more wobbly and slow movement, which would be a bigger issue if these characters were the actual characters. But they're not. They're toys. While the characters do have different stats like speed and weight, they don't feel like they make a difference enough to be a deciding factor as to who you choose. But rather, we have all the characters on an even playing field, which does lean into fair competition. The level design matches up with this, with them all being wide, rounded, and accommodating for the controls and speed that all these characters have. Now, I'm not saying that this is inherently a bad thing. It's clearly a choice the developers made in order to appeal to a more casual, pick up, play a few rounds, put it down audience. In terms of how the game does control, it definitely is made for mobile devices. Even when playing on a controller, the button mapping is set to mimic touch controls, with the buttons being mapped to where they would be on the screen, rather than traditional controls. Like the attack button being set to B on Xbox rather than X, which took some getting used to. As for how the game performs, on PC at least, I had no issues, except that the camera control is often wrestled back by the game, giving you some absolutely horrible camera angles. The main match type in Sonic Rumble is Ring Survival. Each match has 3 rounds which cycle through different stages and game modes. Run is exactly how it sounds, a race to the finish. Survival, where the goal is to outlast other players till a certain amount are eliminated. Hunt, where you have to gather the most points within a time limit. Team, a team mode where you must work together to achieve a goal before the other team. Finishing the match off with Ring Battle, where you have to gather the most rings as possible, with the winner being crowned at the end of the round. You can even attack other players and steal their rings when you get the attack power-up that spawns on the map in order to give yourself an advantage, or you can get the shield, which will protect you from other players' attacks. Starting off with 32 players, the first round eliminates the last 16, the second gets rid of the last 8, and the final round consists of the final 8 players remaining fighting for the top spot. There are other game modes like Quick Rumble, a single round game mode that requires tickets that you can earn each day, Special Rumble, which puts a twist on the existing game modes by adding elements such as battles or survival, Stage Challenges, which task you and up to 3 friends to complete each of the game's stages within a certain amount of time, and Custom Games, where you can select between 1 and 3 rounds and what game modes and maps to play each round. I'm pleased to say that I never had to wait long to get into a match, and each match seemed to be filled to the brim with players, even over 2 months after the game's launch. I'm surprised to say that I actually have been having quite a bit of fun with this game, but I just can't help but ask, why does this game exist? Don't get me wrong, I'm having fun, but if I want to play Fall Guys, I'll just go play Fall Guys. While I had fun during my short time playing for this review, I don't see this game lasting very long. I hope it does, and I'd like to gather some fans and play with you guys, so I did make a crew in the game if you would like to join. Maybe if we get a group together, I'll likely hop back in from time to time. Sonic Rumble is a decent pick up and play time killer for when you're on a bus or a plane. The main gripe against this game is the horrible monetization. The base game is still fun and easily enjoyed, especially for one with no cost to entry. So, with all that being said, was Racing Around the World a success? I think so. We got 2 fun games out of it. Both games were nominated for this year's this year's Game Awards. And the collaboration with F1 and other brands and media seem to have all been big hits. While both games have some issues with pricing, I think Sonic Racing Crossworlds is worth it if you wait for a discount, and Rumble is fun in short bursts without spending any money at all. With that all done, I think that'll do it for me this year. Once again, I want to thank you for all the love and support you have shown me this year. Extra special thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. If you aren't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon. Please leave a like, comment if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment if you hated the video and you want to tell me so. And let me know what you think of Sonic Racing Crossworlds and Sonic Rumble. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know. With that, I want to wish you all a happy holidays and a happy New Year's. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in 2026.